Ciao ragazzi, we are back with another video. This time it is Mexico. I think this is round 8 of the F1Esports 2023-2024 Championship. I am finally back from my holidays. I know you guys are all playing F1 24 and all enjoying that sort of content. But I still want to get all these videos out just for I don't know, for those of you that are really interested to see. But yeah, I will start doing F1 24 content as soon as I can. I haven't even touched the game yet, so I still have to install it. But maybe I'll stream it soon, one of these nights. So make sure to check out my Twitch channel and see my first laps, basically my first anything in that game. But anyway, as we are now in event 3, so it's been a month since event 2, or around that, not exactly, but. And the first race here is in Mexico, and here we felt very, very strong, very confident. Our setup was working wonders, I have to say. So yeah, going with a lot of confidence into this quali session, as we are now starting our first run in Q1. Sector 1, if I remember correctly, because it's been a while since I've done these, as I've seen this POV. 0.60, not that bad to be honest. Decent. As we managed Sector 2 now, all we need is a clean lap without invalidating, because as we saw, it's very easy to invalidate in Mexico. Here, flat out, easily cutting here the left-hander. Yes, that was a really good cut. DRS open onto Sector 3. Probably, I would have to say, probably my best sector, as we just completely miss the apex of the entry to the stadium. But yeah, this is, I think, maybe top 2 or top 3 for sure. My best sectors, one of my best sectors in the whole game. I've always had the upper hand here for some reason, as we are now slot in P2 with a 15.08, which is a pretty good time for the start of Q1, and we don't have to go through again. We don't have to do another lap to go through. P9, P10 for myself and Barry. Barry had to go out again, if I remember correctly. He wasn't too safe with the first lap that he's done, so I'm one of them that managed to keep the tires for Q3. And as you saw there, I clicked advance in the menus, and if you guys didn't know, if you click advance, you get a warning from the race direction, and if you do it twice, you get a 3-place grid penalty. So that was my first warning of the whole season. So I've used up my joker per se, and I have to make sure that doesn't happen again. As now we go into Q2, 0.53 sector 1 at the moment. Very good sector 1 to start off my lap. And again, I'm just so comfortable. I can see that I'm hitting all apexes mostly with some good minimum speeds, and make sure that I don't bottom out in these fast sweeping corners of sector 2. Flat out, cut the left, as we again get a good cut. DRS open. What's the split gonna be? A 0.03. So we're on for a 0.7 banker, which is extremely fast. So this should put us right at the top of the timesheets with a good few corners. And looks like we do manage it pretty well. What's it going to be? It's time to go P1 with a 0.81. We have a 0.76. So very good lap. Although this lap would be safe, as Barry goes me through then. Although this lap would be safe, I don't have to save tires. I already did that in Q1, so we go out again and get ourselves ready for Q3. I don't know, create a bit more momentum. Sector 1 was absolutely crazy. If I remember correctly, this Sector 1 in Q2 was faster than my Q3 Sector 1, or very, very, very close to it. So yeah, that was absolutely unbelievable. But here in Sector 2, I remember I choked quite a bit. As you see, we're like more than a 10th up, but the double right was very, very bad. And so is these S section. I think I got a snap here. I don't remember where, but it was just very, very slow. Here I cut too much, didn't get a good cut here on the left, and look at the delta. I'm losing so much time. Like a 10th, if not more, to be honest. But here we're going to Sector 3, and I think the Sector 3 was crazy fast. Get a good cut here on the right-handers. Use all the track on the left. All the track on the exit, and we're more than a 10th up, and we go P1 with a 0.65. And I straight away go check my sectors, because I was like, what the hell was that? That lap was crazy. That Sector 1 and 3 were absolutely crazy, but that middle that middle was so bad. But anyway, myself P1, Barry in P3, very good position for us in Q3 now, and I am one of few people that have 2 sets of tires, so let's make this banker count. We don't really cut these corners anymore compared to the previous F1 games, which is a good thing. I don't miss those times whatsoever. But anyway, Sector 1 is a 0.47, which is slower than my Q2 Sector 1, as just to put into perspective how quick that one was. But this middle sector is looking way better so far. Down to 50 diff, down to 5th gear, and you have to carry so much speed in that corner. There's so much left hand there. Here, don't turn too early, so you bottom out. Cut the left hander. Alright, cut. And we're gonna, as you can see, I turned the ERS off here for the entry of the stadium. 0.93 split, very decent split. And then I turn it back on right before the hairpin here, and that just allows me to save that little bit of ERS that I need to come across the line with just enough ERS. As you can see here, I don't run out, and I run out just a bit before crossing the line. And if you don't do that, what I found was I would run out of ERS way earlier and essentially lose possible lap time. But anyway, we are now on board for the last lap of Q3. This is all or nothing. I have nothing to lose at this point. I have a really good banker in already. Excuse me. And we improve Sector 1. And as you can see, it's the exact same as my Q2 Sector 1. So, yeah, crazy. But anyway, it's still a very competitive Sector 1, especially with our wings. We had a pretty high wings for this quality session, because we are 60 up already, and I know there's a lot of time to make up in the S section. As you can see, we gained 50 on the left-hander only. We get a good cut here on the left. Yes, we do. We get a really good cut. Look at the delta. We have an 8-0 split, which is absolutely nuts. We are on for maybe a 3, to be honest, with a good last sector, but at least a very low 4. But I knew that my split was unbelievable, so I took it extremely cautious in the last sector, which in hindsight I probably shouldn't have. But as you can see, Barry goes P1 with a 0.48, and we go P2 provisionally with a 0.49. So at this point, we were like, oh my god, we got the 1-2. But Freddy, in the end, did his PB Sector 3 to just about snatch P2 away from me, and only a millisecond away from Barry. So extremely close quali session for us in the top 3. But then there was a pretty big gap downwards. This is the qualifying results. This is the grid for today's race. So make pause it if you want to check it out. But yeah, here, I think I remember switching to the hards right at the end. I decided that I wanted to split the strategy with Barry, and obviously in hindsight is a very beautiful thing. Maybe was the wrong choice, but I knew that this was a higher risk, higher reward strategy, and that's what I needed. I was still a lot of points behind in the driver standings, and I still wanted to do my best in the drivers and fight for the championship. So in the moment, this is what I thought would give me the highest, reward if I can manage my race correctly. As we got a clean start, as we're the only hard runner around me, a bunch of softs behind me as well. Alfie, Lucas will all probably try to get past me as quick as they possibly can, rightfully so. As I get a little tap from Lucas, I think. Yeah, not too sure what happened there. It's important to just keep my front wing clean. That's all I need to do, because I'm not gonna keep up with these soft runners. I'm not even gonna fight it. I'm just gonna let them go and catch back up to the train and drag me along basically for the whole first stint, or 10 laps or so, however long the softs remain. And actually Lucas, something happened to Lucas because he's now behind Josh, and Josh is on hard, so yeah, I'm not quite sure what happened there. But anyway, we already lost the DRS in the first lap. We're 1.3 seconds behind, so yeah, as you can see, there's no point whatsoever trying to fight this, so we're just gonna let Alfie go and use his ERS to catch back up. Here I see Lucas is still a bit far away, so I don't want him to pass me straight away, or I don't want him to dive me and possibly lose like crucial race time for no reason, so I decided to use a little bit of ERS. But here I saw that I used a little bit of ERS to defend from him, but I'm not too sure why, because I knew he was going to dive me down the inside anyway. But it's just these little it's these little like details that matter a lot. It goes very deep. It's these little details that make or break your race, and if you do this many times, this little mistake, it just costs you so much ERS and potential like opportunities in the future. So yeah, I still need to learn. I'm not perfect, and reviewing these videos or these onboards with you guys also helps me out. So it's always good to rewatch it back. And now Isma catches us on the medium tire, which is the best tire in the game, and we are going to use him to catch back up to the soft train. So this strategy right now is working perfectly. Everything is going exactly to plan, and Alvaro, Isma's teammate, right behind me. And what I noticed so far is that I have a lot of straight line speed, especially compared to the Williamses, and just in general, it looks like we're very, very slippery on the straight line, which is a good thing. You always want that to be the case in a race, especially around Mexico, with that long straight. So I was feeling so confident and so good about this race at this point. I had no doubts, no worries at all. And now I'm just gonna look to save some ERS, because it's so hard to save ERS in this track. You have to lift and just be very patient, to not just press for 5% for no reason, because that 5% is going to take 1 or 1.5 laps to recharge. So yeah, it's very crucial. As we now skip all the way to lap 14, because nothing, and I mean nothing, has happened. We've just all been sat in this train, kind of waiting for the laps to come down. And it's lap 14, the softs have to pit at some point, and I think from what I remember, lap 14 is the first lap the softs can pit and make it to the end, and that's exactly what happens. Every single soft runner pitted. Perfect for us. The earlier they pit, the better for my strategy it is, so I just gotta keep focusing and follow Isma, because right now Isma's tires are still quite a bunch better than mine, and if we are going at a medium space, that's only gonna advantage me and have a better race time in the end. So I'm in the perfect position. I'm the first one to be a hard runner, sorry, in the alternate strategy. So lap 15 though, Isma on the medium pits, I think, well, for hards for sure, as well as his teammate. His teammate pitted a lap before, but I don't really understand why they would do a medium hard, because both stints you just have the worst tires, like relative to your train. So I was really convinced that Isma was going to do a medium soft, and we were going to stay at a medium race pace for the next few laps, but I guess that wasn't the case. So that kind of hindered my strategy a little bit. Josh does pass me and uses the DRS a little bit, as Jarno looks up the inside a little bit. I'm not sure what he was trying there. I don't think he had the right to any space. He wasn't anywhere alongside. It's now lap 17. I think I'm not gonna pit yet, or if I do, it's probably a better choice. Yeah, I do pit. I do react to Josh, because I didn't want to be, as we touch him there a little bit, and luckily we don't get damage. But if I did stay out, I would have been just a sitting duck. Two people behind me later on, so I had to pit and work with Josh and Jarno to catch up to the train. So I think we have around, they pitted lap 14, we pitted lap 17, so we have 3-4 lap fresher tires, which is huge, especially in a track like this where the tire wears so much and it matters a lot. The tire drop-off is enormous on this track, so I think we're going to be lapping around 1.5 to 2 seconds a lap quicker in these 3 laps. So yeah, the advantage is pretty big all the way across the whole race distance. And now I'm just working with Josh, to be honest. Josh and Jarno, we're just waiting, playing the patient game, not fighting each other, because there's absolutely no need. It just loses us time. But I think here on lap 21, Josh, I think, was struggling with pace the whole race, to be honest. He couldn't really work with me too well, and now he's getting attacked by Jarno, and I see that, and I don't even try to defend, because it's just pointless. I want to keep my ERS for future, so my plan here was to then overtake Josh with Jarno in lap 22, and then overtake Jarno on lap 23, and by that point we should have caught the train. But as you can see here, Jarno gets a game crash or some crash of some sort, PC crash. So he gets disconnected from the race, and that is so unfortunate for him. I really feel bad for him. I think all of us drivers have had our fair share of bad luck in this year's championship. So yeah, I know exactly what he's feeling right now. Trust me. But yeah, that kind of messes up my plan because I couldn't overtake Josh that lap. I was too far back, so I had to take an extra lap before I could pass him. And actually, the gap to the train in front is just above 3 seconds. So we are not far, and we are still 14 laps to go to the end. Down to already 2.2 seconds. But here Isma is clearly playing the team game, which I didn't think he would. Caught me by surprise, but he's flashing, he has no ERS, he's lifting a lot, wasting so much time for Alvaro, and I just decided I do not want to play these games. I just need to focus on myself and just pass him, and if that means that I have to use 30% ERS, then that's what it'll take. I will accept that trade, because if I did spend that whole lap behind Isma, my whole race would be finished. So I will gladly spend that 30-40 ERS to stay ahead and not be caught up in any drama behind, just like Josh and Tom now are done side by side, but nothing too serious. And we now skip to lap 27. We got Danny B, who's on 2 lap fresher tires than us. Due to Ismail's lifting, he caught us very, very quickly. So he's got 2 laps fresher tires than us, so I decided to just let him go and cause some havoc in front. But I didn't know that he was flashing. If I knew that he was flashing, I would have played that differently. I would have probably defended that place a little bit more, and I probably could have. But yeah, anyways, I think you can see he had way better, way more aero, way more downforce than I did. As you can see on the straight, just look at the amount of time we gained, even just compared to Josh. Josh is behind me, not even 2 tenths behind me, and he's losing time on straight, so it just shows how fast we were. And I didn't have to sacrifice middle sector or last sector performance all too much, because the setup was just nailed, in my opinion. And here we see an opportunity to dive around the outside of Alvaro. He's on the hard tire, remember, so way worse tire than us, 3 lap older as well. Around the outside, which becomes the inside for the next corner, and I think that was a pretty clean move. A little bit of touching, but it was not pushing or nothing like that. So very happy with that. Position gained, and now we just gotta, I have 7 laps, so now I've just gotta work on my way up slowly. And I knew that Daniel was on low ERS, so I pushed my ERS a little bit to go side by side with him, but he just outbrakes himself, takes Lucas out of the race, and at this point I thought Danny had damage, and well, if not damage, he would absolutely get a post-race penalty. So my head was already just focusing on the top 4, which I could have easily gotten a podium in my opinion. But Danny just had other plans. He decided to dive here and just be a very big nuisance to us and cost me so much ERS and time. I mean, during the race I was obviously so frustrated because he was gaining nothing from this, like at all. I got a penalty after the race as well for what he did to Lucas, so he knew this was just to mess up my race, I guess, at that point, and I was very, very pissed and annoyed at that, because I was fighting for the win here. I was fighting for a good podium result alongside Barry, because, you know, Barry is P2, we can easily work together, but here he's just causing chaos. And now Tom gets past us, and we are now going 4 wide on the live stream. As I'm around the outside, I'll get pushed off a little bit, we leave space, but here Danny, or I don't even know what the hell that was. So basically what happened was, I don't remember. A car in between me and Danny, Tom Manley, sorry, was caught in between us, and Danny, because of that, had a half spin, and Danny then hit me, which then broke my front wing. As you can see, I'm understeering so much now on the SS. Yeah, I have, I think, like 10 or so percent front wing damage once again. So I'm just hoping I can keep up with the train and save some sort of points at the end of this race, as I knew that Danny would get a penalty, and also I knew that Ruben would get a penalty because of some stuff that happened in the race. But yeah, we managed to keep P7 on track, which then becomes P5 at the end of the race. I mean, I was gutted. I was hoping for much more than that, especially in the position that I was in with the tires that I had. But yeah, I guess this is racing, and Danny did what he did to help his team, which is fair enough. So it is P5 for me in the end. Thomas wins the race with Barry in second place, Freddie P3. So the championship contenders all in front of me, which is not ideal. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next race, Brazil. Ciao, guys.